Casey is back for the third time. Is there anybody out there who even likes him and thinks he's a nice guy? I think he's a fucking skis bag. Love Island All Stars, Tuesday the 14th of January, and Ekin-Su has to pick 3 guys to take into the secret garden. I was shocked when she picked Ronnie. Let's be honest, I'm shocked when anybody picks Ronnie for anything other than to be evicted. She also chose Curtis, that I was shocked about, and Scott. I thought that she would pick Marcel and Scott, but maybe she's not because she knows that he's cheated in the past. Ekin-Su was saying that she got to spend time with 3 hot guys. Is there anybody out there who genuinely thinks that Ronnie's hot? Is there people out there who watch Ronnie and go, oh, I bet him? Please, they must exist. Let me know in the comments. So when they were in the secret garden, Ekin-Su was like, oh, what are your goals? And I thought, this is like a fucking job interview. Then a couple of minutes later, Curtis was like, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Is this how people date now? What, are they going to ask them for their availability next? I felt like Curtis was giving her a lot of attention, but I didn't think she was really into him. I thought she was more into Scott. Ronnie was just a fucking spare prick as usual. Gabby and Michelle were having a chat, and he was basically apologising for what he'd done to her when they went out. And then he was like, oh, I feel as if I should have said this a long time ago, I'm getting emotional. And I thought, oh, you're only getting emotional because it happened to you and you want people to like you, you fucking dick. So then Gabby was so understanding, and she says, oh, it was hard what happened, but it was obviously harder for you because you were married. Like, giving him sympathy. Couldn't have been me. I'd have been like, ah, do you know what? I'm glad your wife cheated on you and you fucking deserved it. It makes 0 sense to me for somebody to treat you like shit and then you're just nice to them back. Like, I know that he cheated on her years ago and she's over it, and that's all fine and well, but when he came in and he asked her for a hug yesterday, and then she gave him one and then went out to the girls and says, oh, I can't exactly tell him no. Ah, you can tell him no. You literally had sex with Cindy when you were on holiday in the hotel you were staying in, so yes, no is the nicest thing you can say to him. I'd be saying, get away from me, you fucking skis bag cheating bastard. To be honest, I would say a lot worse than that, but I probably wouldn't be able to say it on TV because then I'd get chucked off the island. So Luca pulled Gabby for a chat. She seems to like him even though he's a bit younger. I mean, age, it doesn't really matter, does it? I actually really like Luca. Scott and India were speaking about how they've been friends for years and they've never took it any further, so it's kind of like going to be a bit weird. But I feel like India's into Scott because otherwise she'd be like, do you know what, we're just pals, like, I hope Ekin-Su picks you if you like her. When it came time for Ekin-Su to choose, I thought she was going to choose Scott. Everybody thought she was going to choose Scott. And then I thought, right, I hope she picks Ronnie, because then if we get to vote to evict, then I can vote for Ekin-Su and Ronnie together. Yes, 2 for the price of 1. But then she chose Curtis. I was shocked at that. Who did you think she was going to pick? Poor Kaz, she was totally playing it cool. She's like, yay, good choice. I was like, ah, that's a shame. So then, in walks Casey. Again. He's clearly not interested in love. He's clearly in there for the money. And I just actually can't stand him. So he comes into the villa and he's like, oh, looking for love, 3rd time lucky, talking absolute shit. And then Kaz pulls him up about the way he treated his ex, who's her best friend. And he's like, no, I've never treated anybody like that in here. I've never treated anybody for the island like that. And Kaz was right to pull him up. And then he had the absolute fucking cheek to say to her, oh, that was a bit much. Like, you shouldn't have said that to me. Why shouldn't she have said it? I would do exactly the same. And she was actually nice about it. I don't understand why people go into these situations and expect the people around them to just be quiet and keep the peace. I would be saying exactly what I thought as well. And then when she says, oh, he's definitely been in everybody in this house's DMs, I would actually have sat and went round and said, has he been in your DMs? Because he's a fucking sleazebag. I was talking to somebody earlier and they were saying who would I like to see go in. And to be honest, as I've mentioned before, when I watch a reality show, I'm all in. I'm dedicated. I'll make my videos at night. And then once they're out the house and once the show's finished, I kind of forget about them, so I don't even know who's been in there. I know that Anton's not going back in because I seen his live on TikTok the other day and he was saying that he wouldn't do reality TV again. All I know is that there's people that I wouldn't like to see. I wouldn't like to see Chris. I seen an article the other day about how they asked Tommy Fury if he wanted to go back in, and he said no because him and Molly May might be getting back together. I hope that's not true because he cheated on her with everybody and she deserves better. I know that Nicole and Callum from last year split up, and I wouldn't mind seeing Callum back in the house because I genuinely think that he was a nice guy and he put up with so much off Nicole. Imagine if Davide came back in. I don't think he would, but I genuinely would have bet my life savings that Ekin-Su wouldn't have went back in. So if he walked back in there, I would faint. Let me know in the comments who you would like to see back in the house, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!